This episode is brought to you by FX's The Beauty Official Podcast. Join host Evan Ross Katz on the official podcast for FX's hottest new series, The Beauty, taking you behind the scenes with its amazing stars as they discuss the show's most jaw-dropping moments. Featuring Evan Peters, Anthony Ramos, Jeremy Pope, Ashton Kutcher, Rebecca Hall, Bella Hadid, Meghan Trainor, Isabella Rossellini, Jessica Alexander, and Ari Grainer. Search FX's The Beauty wherever you listen to podcasts.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
How does PwC take your company to the leading edge? They bring the sharpest minds in tech to your team, so you can bring the ideas that will transform your business. They're passionate about your industry, so you can walk into any room with every advantage. And they're with you every step of the way, so you can know you're headed in the right direction. PwC builds for what's next, so you can get there now. Get started at pwc.com/us/leading edge.
You guys, welcome to another episode of What's Your Issue? My name is Troy McEady.
And I'm Dara Lane.
Dara, how are you? What's new? What's going on? How's LA?
Oh, LA is quite warm. It is temperate. It's like about to be 80 degrees, as I told you.
Oof.
Otherwise, I don't know. It's fine, I guess. We're all surviving. Oh, I never told you about my pop star dance class, did I?
No! What did you end up dancing to?
Danity Kane.
Ugh.
I keep meaning to rewatch the video and see if it was the damaged, like, if it was the choreography. I don't think it was, because I think it was intro. So
Okay.
I don't know that it was the exact choreography.
It wasn't the
was
Lorianne
fun.
Gibson boom cat. Boom cat. Yeah.
But it was really fun. I really would like to do more dance classes again, but I will say it was the first one I've done in many years. You know, you don't keep up your skills, it seems, with dance. My mind for choreography went out the window, but you know, it feels good for the brain and the soul.
Yeah, and it's like cunty.
It's cunty, and I do have to get my cunty back up because for the last 3 years, I've been doing so much Pilates, which is good for the body, but it's not good for the sexy body. Like, sure, is my ass tight? Of course. But am I moving it the right way anymore? No, because it like really, like, I don't know. It's all form. So I have to learn how to like cunt it up again.
Because that's the thing about like a good dance class is even if you don't know what you're doing, if you're just like feeling cunt, it doesn't matter.
Well, and that was the thing. It was very much the kind of dance class where, like, God bless, but he was really trying to soul cycle us and really like, you know, pump us up, which so many were eating it up. It was for the right people, you know, far be it from me to stop anyone from worshiping at the feet of a gay man, you know, but I don't love a class where it's like they're trying to inspire me. It's like show, don't tell. Don't tell me to be inspired.
Especially in a dance class, like we want to be Lou Pearlman. We don't want to be Richard Simmons.
Exactly. And there were so many people there. It was in a warehouse in Frogtown, and it was just like, my God, I can't actually like estimate numbers in any way, shape, or form. Might be a learning disorder, who can say? But it was between 50 and 100 people there. It was
shit.
That is to say, it was packed.
God.
And yeah, like there wasn't a lot of dancing that got to be done because there was so many of us. It's
like you couldn't move really.
I couldn't really like see a lot. And then we only were able to, we like broke up into groups, and then we did it twice. So there wasn't a lot of time to really, you know, get my groove back.
Yeah, I get that. I want to go to a dance class. When I'm there, we should go to a dance class together.
Yes, we should go to North Hollywood where all the dancers go,
Yeah.
considering we're such esteemed professionals, and do a class out there.
We post like one of those Millennium Dance videos where we're like doing that extremely hard, sharp choreography with no rhythm. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves on the internet, by the way.
When is it just in general or when people tape themselves doing it?
No, I don't mind people taping themselves, but like that style of dance, I just despise that like Addison Rae style of like move, 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 move. It's very like there's no rhythm to it. It's just all moves, no rhythm.
I believe maybe you were talking about a heels dance class. I feel like a heels dance class, and it's specifically called heels, and it's always just like, yeah, like move, 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 stomping around in heels.
Like, well, no, because it's specifically the Millennium Dance Company people, and I can't tell any of them apart. They're all wearing sweatshirts as pants and leggings as hats and all this dumb shit. They have like leggings tied around their necks as scarves and shit. And they all move the exact same. Like it's the same kind of choreography. If you guys if you don't know what I'm talking about, look on Instagram at like Millennium Dance Studio and you'll get 1,000 videos of these people like taking turns doing one choreo. And it's so sharp. It's literally, it's Tate McRae dancing, which there's a market for that, but it's just not for me.
Well, you hate Tate McRae, but I personally, I kind of like how she's like a dumb little slut. I like the slutty eyes. I like that. I don't love the music, but I think it's nice slutty music. It kind of washes over me in a dumb slutty way. I'm like, you keep doing what you're doing. I'm not going to listen to it like on my own time and on my own dime, but you know, I'm happy for you. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, it's like if Maddie Ziegler like made it as a pop star.
Yes.
She's so Dance Moms coded. Those girls dance like that. They do that Millennium Dance Studio choreography where they have like flannels tied around their head. Holly, what are you doing?
Yeah, I guess it's very dance competition dance.
Extremely. It's all the girls that grew up in the dance competition thing. And they don't ever lose that. There's no rhythm to their dancing, just precise moves that are perfect, but like soulless, you know? It's hyper white girl.
Oh, definitely. I would love for someone to do a deep dive on that sort of style of dance and culture, because it is just like a bunch of white girls going to competitions and learning, like trying to dance to some hip hop songs and stuff, but they're not in the hands of anyone who should be teaching it.
No, and they think that if they do the moves really, really hard, that it equates to like eating. And it's like, no.
Oh my God. Yes. Now I can, and it's like, I get.
Yeah. Yes. They're like, and they always have a ponytail that's going fucking berserk. Like they are swinging that fucking ponytail like their life depends on it.
Ponytail culture is just so strange in the arts, you know, in anything dance related, like cheer.
Yeah.
Cheer, dance.
It's true.
That could also be studied.
How
are you, Troy? We don't need to keep talking about dance ponytails.
We could. I'm okay. I'm post being snowed in, so it's like not really snowing anymore. It's over with, but the snow is like on the ground. So the sidewalks are like pretty foul. The snow is really high, but it's not snowing now. And, you know, I survived my first New York City snowstorm. I've only like read about them, and yeah, I've never lived here during a real snowstorm, like a one that's like on the news. Yeah, so that was fun. It was fun to like go out the day of and walk around, and like everybody was just doing really weird shit outside. Like people were sledding in the street, and people were skiing. They were being pulled by cars and skiing in the street, and like it was like a
sounds
party.
Romantic.
It was very romantic, especially like in the day. It was like noon, like it was warm, but the snow was high, and everybody was just outside, friendly, taking pictures, like having snowball fights. It was very quaint. I was like, wow, this is like, yeah, it was cool. So I'm post snowstorm. I have no snacks left. I went through everything. Yeah. But yeah, I'm hanging in there.
God, I'm looking at myself in this camera and I look like an absolutely white as hell, like vampire floating head. I don't know what to do about. I need to figure out the lighting in here. It's like completely black behind me.
Yeah.
And my hair looks black.
Well, it looks Merlot, which is cool. See?
And ox blood.
Yeah, it's giving ox blood.
Gorgeous. Well, Troy, should we get to it?
Please.
I'm going to ask you the question, and you're going to answer honestly, okay?
Okay.
You are hooked up to a lie detector test, and if you fail, I will kill you.
Okay. I fail on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Troy, what's your issue?
My issue is the April 2nd, to be specific, 1990 issue of Jet magazine featuring a 4-year-old child prodigy, Raven-Symoné. And yeah, she just this cover, are you kidding me right now?
I mean, the cover, she is such a little precious moments doll. It's insane. It's like, how are you real?
I know. And how are you so talented and funny and comedic and she's like an Amanda Bynes kid.
Oh my God. She really was. Like, her timing is impeccable. Like, I was watching her on an old clip of her on Arsenio Hall.
Okay.
And I'm like, the way she can just like sit with an adult and just talk like they're peers.
She's so confident. And it's always interesting to do these like child star profiles because it's a lot of the same beats. They always make sure to say the same stuff.
This one's interesting though, because I don't know that I've ever read one that is trying to like bring home so hard that this is a very mature girl and that she's a businesswoman actually. And she is 4 years old.
Yeah. The way that they talk about her is literally insane. And I get it. Like, I understand the need to, to make the kids seem like they really want to be doing this. Like, you don't get it. They have like a business mindset and like, we're just along for the ride. And it's always the same old song and dance. It's like, she's 4.
I guess it is like any other profile on a child actor, but the difference is they're talking about her as if she's a 15-year-old child actor or 12 to 15 or something. And she's 4.
She's 4. She's not even 5.
She's not even 5. I mean, I'll also say, where is it? They say the writer is Ardis Carthane, and he writes, laughing and smiling seems second nature for Raven, who stands 35 inches tall, weighs 29 pounds, and bears a striking resemblance to both her parents.
Yeah.
It should be illegal to be on camera if you don't even clear 50 pounds.
She's pre-K.
She's pre-K.
It's like, now I have to ask you, I feel like also because I feel like when we introduce a new magazine to the show, we should like talk about it. So did you ever come across any Jet magazines at the doctor's office when you were like a teenager or a kid?
That's a big no, Troy.
That's what I was expecting.
That's a big old
have them
no.
in New Hampshire?
I mean, Troy, as like when I was a kid, especially like as a Jewish person, that was the most we were getting out there as far as any diversity goes. So,
right?
No. Everybody was just white and Catholic.
Yeah. Jet is very much, it's like a magazine that your grandmother, aunt, uncle, like the older people in your life would subscribe to because it was like an institution in the 70s and 80s. I would almost say it's like a level above a doctor's office magazine. Like it is like I'm at the barbershop kind of magazine.
Yeah. Okay.
And they had a Jet Beauty of the Month or week. either week or month. And that was a big deal. It was like a woman like Kenya Moore. I think Kenya Moore was a Jet Beauty. Like beautiful pageant, black girls, you know, aspiring actress, black girl kind of vibe.
Oh, okay. I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to understand.
Yeah. And that's cute because it's tiny. It's a tiny magazine. It's like really small. That's like their thing.
Yeah, I'm loving the black and white photos. Was it? Yeah, so like, is it all black and white? I know that I'm looking at it and the ads are color, but then the pages themselves are black and white. Was that usually how it went, or is this just like the copy that we have?
You know, I could be wrong about this, and if I am, somebody let me know. I'm pretty sure the old ones, like up to the 80s, were black and white, and I think in the 90s it went all color, but the ads were always in color, and then the beauty of the week was in color. But
well, she's got
it does kind of give, but it does give the vibe of like a teen magazine. Like the quality of it is like not the best. But what's your relationship to Raven-Symoné?
Oh my God. I loved her
Tell me everything.
so much. Well, we were a huge Cosby house. Like huge, huge.
Okay.
My dad loved him so much as a stand-up comedian, and I remember watching his stand-up shows when I was really young. And the big thing in our house is me and my brother would go around and we go, "Dad is great. He gives us chocolate cake."
Yeah.
That was we loved that. And so then Cosby Show was huge in our house. I mean, I was watching the after the Cosby Show ended, when it was just him and Felicia Rashad.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the neck, like I don't even, like, I barely remember it, but I know I watched every episode of that too.
Oh, are you talking about A Different World? The spinoff?
It might have been A Different World.
That was like Lisa Bonet's I'm Going to College spinoff.
Oh, no. It was just him. And it was like, God, am I like making this show up? I think it was called like Bill or something. Like it wasn't.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It wasn't. Let me look this up because. Okay, yes. It was just called Cosby.
Oh my God. Dara, I remember the opening theme.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was when was that? That was 1996 to 2000, 95 episodes. I was obsessed with that.
Wow. That's a long time.
I know, isn't that shocking?
Wow. Yeah, I don't have a lot of memories of that, but I do remember the opening was so cool.
God, I need to watch it because I know, like, I have very few memories of it, but because I just watched it when it was on. Whereas the Cosby Show, I was watching every episode in syndication over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But I was obsessed with Raven. I feel like once it got to her episodes as well, I was older. Those are the ones I remember the most.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I felt like I wanted to be her. Like she was this little precocious girl, and I was like, that's very me.
I'm going to take on that personality.
Yeah, this is the building blocks of something I'm trying to put together. But yeah, and then I watched That's So Raven a little bit. I do think by that point I was getting a little old for that kind of stuff. So I watched it, but it wasn't, I think pretty quickly I kind of fell off on it and just sort of touched back in and out. But yeah, I was always a huge fan of hers. And then as time went on, 2010s, I feel like we lost her a little bit.
Were you a fan of her era of The View?
Not really. I feel like she made me very uneasy during her tenure on The View. Were you into her on The View?
She made me uncomfortable too. Because I liked her so much, and I was always so nervous of what she would say. Because it was like a real look into a child star's sort of skewed image of the world and race and politics and stuff. Like,
Yeah, it made me uncomfortable, and I did not want her to say something that I didn't like because
Yeah.
I wanted to just be like, let's just keep you in a little bubble that I enjoy.
Yes.
Which is not having insane opinions about things. But what was your like early Raven vibes?
We were huge Cosby Show people. We were a huge Cosby Show family. Cosby Show and Roseanne. It was like,
Troy, we were like parallel.
I know. Like those are two shows that really, as a kid, like suspended my reality, and I really thought the Cosby Show was a real family, and I really thought the Connors were a real family. You couldn't tell me that like Roseanne and Dan weren't married, and same thing with Bill and Felicia. I was like, they're married. Like those are their kids. Raven-Symoné is clearly their kid. Like I just loved it so much, and then as I got old, and also I really took on Raven as like a idol. Like I was obsessed, and I looked a creepy amount like her as a kid. I literally looked like Raven. I wouldn't even say like with no hair. I just look like her. So I'll send you a picture. People would like project that onto me a lot, and I like wanted to be a child star. So it was always like, I was like, I'm going to be Raven. You know what I mean? Like it's clearly my destiny to like be her. And then I got into That's So Raven. I was too old. Yeah. But I just thought she was so funny that.
Oh my God. Yeah. The first picture, especially with you in the little suit, that is like.
It's weird.
That's crazy.
It's
I
like
also
creepy.
love that you have 2 childhood photos of yourself just locked and loaded.
It's because I found like a box of my old stuff, and I had like childhood pictures in it, or I had like a scrapbook that my grandma made me, and I just hadn't seen the pictures in a long time. But yeah, I just like I was too old for That's So Raven, but she was so funny. Like even now, I will watch an episode of That's So Raven, and everybody else may not make me laugh, but her,
yeah,
she is so gifted. Like she's so. And the way that by the time she was a teenager, like her comedy bone was just so strong, and like she was such a powerhouse comedian, you know?
She really was kind of like an old world child star. Like she feels very studio system or something, because it doesn't seem like she had much of a life outside of work. And it's so interesting that she could even develop this sort of timing and sense of humor and perspective to be so good at comedy when it seems like most of her life was so serious.
Yeah, like she was a very serious little girl, and it's all people. This whole article is about her work ethic, how serious she is, how serious she takes it all, even when she's pretending. Actually, there's a quote that I wrote that I thought was kind of sad. Oh, I know that I meant to write it down, but it was the quote where they're like, even when she's pretending, like when she plays pretend, it's her pretending to drive to the studio and like show up for work. Like her pretending was doing work.
Oh, it says, to us, she acts like a 4-year-old. She has a very good memory and likes to pretend like any other 4-year-old. One of her favorite ways of pretending is making believe she's grown up and driving to the studio in her miniature electronic red Corvette with black interior. Oh,
like her pretending is going to the studio lot.
Yeah, and then they're talking about how she's been raised to be confident, honest, and have a good educational foundation. And then
oh God, yeah.
And then under the good manners, poise, and maturity, Raven does not fit the image of the child star who's been shoved into the limelight and robbed of her childhood. I mean, but what other typical child star are we saying that like a 4-year-old would normally already be doing coke?
Right, like what are we basing that on?
What are we basing this off of? And it's like instead, she's just a tyke who loves Nintendo Mario Brothers. It's like, is she?
They say she has an awareness of her public image and how important it is. Like she's fucking 4, and at the beginning of that quote, she says, "I have to be a sweetie." I have to be a sweetie. I don't like that.
No, that's something you teach a child that ends up like not understanding like boundaries around adults and like
Right.
that they can say no to things. It's like you always have to be polite. You have to be a sweetie. I mean, it's kind of a version of what, you know, most women are taught is be polite, and that ends up getting us in trouble. But this is so much worse. Like, be a sweetie. This is the most important thing that you can do because you'll get fired if you don't. I was reading a Vanity Fair interview with Raven. No, I think it was Rolling Stone, actually. And they were she was talking about the laws and stuff that she wants people to enact to protect child stars. And she was saying the next generation, the generation after her, they feel like more emboldened to say no to things and to push back. And she said, whereas with her generation and with her, it was, you know, if you're not doing what you're told and acting the way you're supposed to act, like you're getting fired, and that is the last thing that can happen.
Yeah.
Especially when your parents are so obsessed with like working and this is the most important thing that you can do. Like it's very identity based.
Well, it's also just it's such a weird concept for a child to be so like about how they're perceived and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the greatest thing about being a child is that you like not sentient enough to care about what people think of you or to be insecure. You're just like every moment doing exactly what you want in the world. And to think that she was hyper aware of her public image, of her work ethic, of, you know, and even the stuff that they say that's like supposed to be a compliment, like Bill Cosby says, like, you know, she's extremely professional. She shows up. She knows every line. She's on time. She's 4. You guys are talking about her like she's like some lady.
Yeah, as if it's up to her to be on time.
She's not driving to the studio lot. Like,
she is not 4. In her pow power wheels on the 405. Okay.
But can you imagine though?
I literally can. Just her on the breakdown lane, like beep beep, hello.
It's crazy. It's really something else. I also thought it was interesting too that they talk about how she like wouldn't stop until they were able to accomplish their dream, and like the parents were merely just along, like she was the driven one, and they are just like, well, what next, honey? Like she just learned to talk. They say, as with millions of other households, the Cosby Show continued to be a Pierman, that's her family's last name, family favorite that ultimately led Raven, who first did some local modeling in Atlanta, to make a re-guest. Dad, I can do that, she used to say as she sat engrossed in the Thursday night comedy. I want to be on the Cosby Show. Pearman recalls, we knew that if she ever wanted to be on the Cosby Show that she had to be in New York City. We knew that it was a long shot, but we sold everything that we had and moved to New York. Fortunately, Raven was signed there by prestigious Ford modeling agency and later landed commercial deals with Unisys Digital Computers, Downey, Fisher-Price, Playset, Friendlies, Cool Whip, Jell-O, Ritz Crackers, and after wowing TV's funniest father, then they signed her up for it. But it's like, even just the fact that, because did you happen to watch her interview with Jamie Kennedy?
No, but I was seeing little clips of it, but I didn't have time to watch it, and now I really want to.
It's really good. And she talks about how like all of her early work, like she was so young that she doesn't remember any of it, but her IMDb credits before even the Cosby Show are insane. Even just that list, like she was in like 20 commercials. I'm just like, oh, it's so dark.
Also, what I was thinking when I was reading that part that you just read is it just reminded me of your theory on lore, like every star has to have lore. And you can feel the dad trying to create that as if it was like, well, she just had this one particular dream. And we said, well, I mean, I guess we should make this happen for her, as if it wasn't a meticulously thought out plan of like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I mean, it's like, no, you were planning out like, we're going to get this bitch in a Jell-O commercial.
Yeah.
And she'll
be sold all your stuff.
sold all your stuff. And then in 2010, her father did an NPR interview, and he apparently like repeats that story just as he did in this article. It's like, we are not straying from the narrative that she wanted this, and she was so mature, and we're just along for the ride.
Yeah, it's got that I will say, I think that there's a different kind of conversation that happens around kids that are presented as prodigies. Like, there's a million child stars, and they get talked about all the same. But a child prodigy is, like, consistently talked about the same. And you always hear the same shit. Like, if you listen to any person that knew any of those kids from the Mickey Mouse Club, or like, you know, that like knew Britney as a kid, they're always like, she came into the room, she absolutely owned it, she lied about her age, she said she was 9 instead of 8, she wanted it, she was 5. Like, what are you talking about? She's an 8-year-old girl. Like, what?
You know, that is just such a dark-sided thing too, because that is how anybody talks about a child when they want to exploit them, or when they have exploited them. And it's like, oh, well, she wanted it, or, oh, like, she's so mature for her age. Don't worry. She's so mature for her age. They keep calling her mature in this, and it's like, she is 4 years old. There is no maturity in a 4-year-old.
It's illogical.
There's no maturity. There's not been any sort of building blocks there where she can, I don't know. This is not a child that can take care of themselves, comparing them to like a 12-year-old who's mature and can do their own laundry. This is a 4-year-old who is just like mimicking what you're telling her, you know, to be polite and to be professional and not talk about your personal life, and you drive her to work on time.
Now, let me ask you this. What if your child is a prodigy? Like, what if you're walking around your house and your kid is literally Raven-Symoné? They are just fucking breakdancing and rapping and doing bits and doing stand-up. Like, where's the line? Because, like, I also feel like I would feel really bad denying my kid of their obvious gift, you know?
Sure. Well, you know, as someone who has no children and will never be faced with this conundrum, because even if I had a child, I'm sure they'd be an idiot. God bless. But I would hope that I would say, okay, I definitely want to support what you're talented at. And, you know, I'm putting them in the lessons. Like, all of the, like, if someone's a prodigy, you know, you have to support that so they can maintain their talent. Like, if you don't use it, you lose it, even if you're a prodigy. Right. So I would do that. But then I would say, if you're a prodigy now, you'll be a prodigy later. So you're going to do musical theater, you know, with other kids your age. You're going to do community theater, and that's all you're going to do until, you know, when you're 18, you can audition for schools, for musical theater programs or acting programs, but you are not. Because there are so many kids who are gifted who then become very stunted adults that are very regressed.
Yeah.
And that's does
so
not
true.
do you any good in the long run. That doesn't mean you're going to have a career in the long run, or even just be like, you know, and having a career isn't even the be all end all. It's like, to me, even if my kid was really great at a sport, I would never let them go down like an Olympic track.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I couldn't do it. I would want to, but I'm too hyper aware of like the atrocities of the industry. I just couldn't, like, the amount of people that are like actively working overtime to exploit your child and separate them from you. I just couldn't do it.
Also, on top of it, I don't know that there's any child who understands what the prodigy track is, and is like, for example, if you do want to be an Olympic gymnast or ice skater or whatever, and it's like, little kid, do you really want to be getting up at 4 a.m. before you have to go to school every day? Is that really what you want to do? Or do you just like ice skating and you want to take lessons, and maybe you'll compete a little bit when you're a little bit older on the weekends? But does any kid actually want to? I feel like there's always an adult behind them showing them, this is what you do. that the most important thing is to be great at this. And that's just not something I think a lot of children are born with. I think it's instilled, and most kids would probably just, in the long run, be grateful that they got to do the thing that they were good at, but not be pushed into it where it's the only part of their identity.
Yeah, because it's really your parents kind of deciding your identity before you're ready. It's like, who knows if that's like what you really wanted to do or get into. Like, who's to say that by the time you're old enough to make your own decisions that you wouldn't just like want to do theater and like not be, you know what I mean? Like, who's to say?
Well, and on top of it too, I do think that a lot of people who are gifted in one thing find out that they're actually gifted in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So if, like Brooke Shields, turns out she was also really smart,
Yeah.
And so sure, yeah, she was beautiful and she was good at acting. So yeah, why not push her into that at a young age? But it turns out she was also really smart too. So if she was allowed to kind of become her own person and discover all different types of things that you do when you're a child, maybe the last thing she would have wanted to be was an actress. Maybe she would have been a marine biologist.
And she's such an interesting, like such a specific child star because, and this is like one of the things that she talked about with Jamie Kennedy. It's like she has been, even if she was having like a slump in her career, she was always working. She's always been working since she was 2 years old. And she worked through all the eras of Hollywood. She worked through, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s. Like, she's seen so much, and it was crazy listening to her tell stories about like other child stars that she just has had such a colored life. Like she, like from her like living with Lindsay Lohan and Lindsay never coming to the apartment to like just all of the crazy shit that she's seen, the Cheetah Girls of it all. And I also think too, she's such an interesting case because she is a Black girl.
Yeah.
And you can look at Hilary Duff and Miley and all of those girls. Nobody ever talks about the impact that Raven-Symoné had on our generation and like how successful she is. Like, she is that girl. Like, she must be so rich.
I can only imagine. I mean, I guess I don't know how her parents managed her money. Like, hopefully.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's always a big variable.
Doesn't usually go well.
Does not usually go well. And I did see her just like a clip of her on Nick Vile's podcast. And he was asking about like if she could make the laws, like what would she say about child stars? And one of the things she said was that you would not be allowed to have a parent be a manager. They would not be allowed to.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Take money off of you. They'd have to have their own job. She also said, that she thinks it should be illegal for anyone under 10 to be on camera in any way. And she was like, I don't care if it's AI. Like, there's no reason for kids that young. And then after that, there should be a psychologist who's evaluating the kid, evaluating the parents. Mm-hmm. I'm honestly, like, I'm so anti-AI. However, when it comes to children and movies, I think it should be illegal. I think it's never good. I don't think it is good for a child's brain. Even if you don't end up completely fucked up as a child star, and there are few and far between, I just think it's just a terrible thing to put a child through.
It is quite evil. I don't know how I feel. I feel like I'm very anti AI as well. I'm anti like children being on sets alone. I think that that's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know where I fall. Because then I'm also just like, I wish that they could make like substantial enough changes to the actual industry that it wouldn't stop kids from being able to like explore their creativity. Like, it just sucks that it's like, there's just too many pedophiles around. So, and like that's
what can you do?
What can you do? And it's like, oh, I wish that it was like, no. I feel like personally, a child should never be alone on a set, like ever.
Well, but I would also counter that and say, I don't necessarily trust them with a parent. Like, I would say that there should be like a social worker of some kind.
Yeah, somebody not in the entertainment industry, because when they're in the industry, it tends to not go well. Like, it tends to just... Did you ever watch Love, the Judd Apatow show on Netflix?
Yeah, I watched
His kids are in it.
Yeah.
You know how there's like a lot of it revolves around his kids being tutored on set, and like they're like not in school really. Like they're just doing whatever and like being debaucherous or whatever. It's like there needs to be somebody with kids on set that is like hired, outsourced, and has nothing to do with the industry, because then you run into stuff like Edward Furlong was dating his chaperone, and she was 30 and he was 12.
Yeah.
And they were openly dating on set, and like he was introducing her as his girlfriend.
The problem is, whenever there's children around and there's jobs that give you close proximity to children, that sometimes will attract good people, and sometimes it attracts the exact opposite type of person that you want a child around. And it's kind of hard to be on top of that.
Yeah, it feels like, especially too, it's like when you look at something like Nickelodeon, for example, it's like they hire people like them on purpose, you know? Like Dan Schneider was hiring pedophiles to be on set, a ton of them. So it's like, like you said, it's like people like that, they will find like-minded people to also be evil with them. Oh, it's so sad to imagine like little Raven.
I know.
Just like being surrounded by all these adults and being on that set with fucking Bill Cosby. Can we talk about the Cosby of it all?
The Cosby of it all.
Just how fucked that cast got with the syndication. Now you can't watch the Cosby Show, and all of those amazing actors have had to suffer because of that motherfucker.
Fucking hate that shit. And I feel so bad for the, like, similarly, like the Seventh Heaven kids, like anything where, you know, people just get it so wrong. Canceling Bill Cosby doesn't have to mean canceling the show, because there's so many other people involved, and there's a much bigger legacy there than just him.
Right.
And like all of those people getting absolutely fucked. It's just so unfair.
It's really awful. And it's like, I don't know, I just kind of feel like you said, the legacy of a show like that, I also feel the same way about Roseanne. The legacy of the show, in my opinion, is bigger than him being a fucking deviant. Like, you know, all of those actors, Felicia Rashad, like, they're like, what they were doing was so important. And like, I still think like there's a world where little black kids watch the Cosby Show and get inspired by it, or like, you know, like I honestly, when I was little watching that show, I was like, wow, like I didn't even know, like I don't think I knew any black doctors in my life. And like seeing him on TV, the fact that he's an OBGYN though.
That is just like, come
Dara.
on. He's
a fucking OBGYN.
Too fucking far. That to me is like a fucking creep who's like, meh. Wink, wink.
And I didn't know what that was as a kid. I thought he was a baby delivery doctor.
Well, and that's how they really tried to push it. Well, he's delivering babies. It's like, yeah, sometimes, but he's also just got his head up a vagina 12 times a day at work.
And this actress has to film a scene with him where her legs are spread open and he's like, you know, analyzing her vagina. And it's like, oh God, the stories that those women on that set probably have, I just cannot even. And the way he treated Lisa Bonet, like, you know, a lot of people's theory is that Zoe Kravitz making Blink Twice was like for her mom.
Okay, you know, that's really interesting, because to look at it through that lens and then think of it as like less about like Epstein kind of vibes, and thinking of it as maybe a little more modern day Playboy Mansion.
Exactly.
Very
that's exactly
interesting.
what I thought. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know. Like, Channing Tatum just being kind of like, he's Diddy, he's Epstein, he's Hef, he's Bill, like, he's kind of every predator wrapped up in one. But yeah, it's like, who's to think, like, even what her career would have been had he not, like, tortured her on that fucking set.
God, I saw her once at Whole Foods. And
what?
The most beautiful woman I've ever seen in real life.
Do you remember what she was wearing?
I do not. This was probably like 8. I mean, actually, it could have been 10 years ago at this point. But I was doing my job where I gave out free samples, which was back in the day. All the celebs were at Whole Foods, right? And I saw her once, I believe, in Studio City, and I could not believe how gorgeous she was. She was like dressed, though. She was dressed the way you would expect her to be dressed.
Right. To even think that her and Lenny Kravitz would like find each other in life is crazy, let alone have this like perfect mix of them as a child, this like very cool, eccentric, like Afro chic little girl who's just like cool and wise beyond her years. Oh my God.
I mean, the three of them, my God, there's no cooler family, perhaps.
No. And she was always my favorite. I loved her on The Cosby Show. I just thought she was so cool. Her voice and her lips and her cool hair, like her big frizzy 80s hair. Like, she was just so cool.
I love her.
Well, yeah, I mean, this was really fun. I also feel like it would be fun to do, now that we've brought it up, I want to do an Edward Furlong profile.
Ooh, that's
I think
fun.
that would be really cool.
I feel like we could do a whole child star, I don't know, series. My God, there's so many of them.
We could. Like, we could do it like child stars profiled at their height kind of thing.
Yeah. I want to talk to a child psychologist too that specializes.
Any child psychologist listening to this, or people who have worked with child stars,
ooh, yeah,
let us know.
Let us know. Or anyone who was ever in close proximity with the child star grown up.
Yeah.
I'm just very interested in all the different milestones of child star, like how so many of them talk in baby voices even as they become adults because it's so ingrained in them. I don't know. It's all... Woo.
And like the chasing chaos, like I just find it so interesting that it's like they spend their whole lives getting all this dopamine, especially performers like singers and stuff, and then all of a sudden they're just not getting it, and they don't know how to get that dopamine hit like they do when 60,000 people are like screaming their name. So then it turns into like an Aaron Carter situation where it's like getting your dopamine from fighting online, or Britney, like getting your dopamine from like running around LA and being debaucherous. Like, you're getting like that rush,
Yeah, like you're addicted to the cortisol.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine though if you, as a kid, like you would like sell out arenas and stuff and have people faint for you, and then all of a sudden it just stops?
No, or like with Raven, to be working since you're so young, not having any idea of what it's like to not be working that much. I feel like that's why a podcast is the perfect thing for her, She just gets to do it week after week after week. She doesn't have to answer to anyone, though she also does not like to talk about herself because she was taught not to. So it's really kind of a sort, it's counterintuitive there.
I will admit, I'm one of the people that like truly despises her wife. Like, I literally...
Really?
I just, I can't do it. I just like, I can't stand up her...
I was going to ask if you listen to the podcast regularly.
Not every episode. I listen to the ones with like a guest that I like. I will watch it because I like to watch the interviews on TV. But her wife is just like the last person to realize that we don't care about her. Like, her turning everything about her, and like she just says really weird stuff sometimes. Like, one time she was like, well, I've never seen That So Raven. And it's like, yeah. And it's like, well, don't fucking stop the conversation. Like, Raven is here. We want to hear her talk about it. Nobody cares that you've not seen it, girl.
Yeah. Like, number one, weird.
I know.
Like, I don't know that that's something you brag about. That's like when a housewife is like, well, I've actually never seen the show. And it's like, you're either lying or an idiot. Which one is it?
Erica Jane being like, I've never watched. I've never seen it. I didn't know any of the girls. It's like, go fuck yourself. That's not cool.
That's not cool. Actually, quite weird. Well, Troy, is there any last parting thoughts on our girl?
I guess just that Raven's an icon. If you're looking for like real early 2000s fashion inspo, look at Raven. Like, Raven was such a fashion bitch and nobody ever talks about it. I just think she's so cool and so funny and so iconic. And like, she is outside of Amanda Bynes, she's my child idol.
Wow. Well, and that's our show.
And that's what's your issue.
And
Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the show. Listen to us on Patreon. We release full episodes on Patreon every week. And we're also doing bonus episodes. So if you like this and you want more, go listen. Sorry that there's like a 5150 going by outside. It's the sign that I need to end the recording.
Yes.
Dara, I love you.
I love you, Troy. And we love you all at home.
We'll see you same time, same place next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.